Okay, so my interest started with my uncle. He got me into hunting, and then through Mr. Gretton during volleyball season, he was talking about trap shooting, and I was like, that sounds pretty cool to do. Like, it's something I can do for the rest of my life. So that's really how my interest got sparked. Like, it's really just something that you can do throughout your whole life. Like, it's something that not a lot of kids do either, so it's really unique, and it's just something different than playing school sports, doing like different activities through that. It's another extracurricular you can participate in. It's very challenging. Like when I started, I was really discouraged at the beginning, and now continuing through it and practice always makes everything perfect. So it takes a lot of practice and a lot of mental toughness, definitely. So it's tough. It's something you got to stick with and keep working at it and get better.
Okay.
This trap shooting league got started out in Minnesota a few years ago, and they've just expanded across the United States. Out in Minnesota right now, I think they have 370 high school teams with somewhere between 12 and 13,000 kids participating, and with no accidents. Safety this is huge.
Right.
And we heard about it this year. Actually, last year we heard about it, and I got together with the club here, Mumford Sportsman's Club, to talk about would we be interested in sponsoring a team if I could get it through Caledonia. And by going to the administration and like that, we were able to get approved. And they wanted to know numbers, so we actually started out with a sign-up sheet. We had 34 kids interested, and we now have 22 kids participating in our first year.
Nice.
We have 9 girls, which is huge, and most of these kids have never shot. We probably got maybe 6 or 8 that have shot trap before,
Right.
and so everybody else is new. And we have like 10, 11 coaches, and so we have a pretty good group here. The kids, they listen well, they've improved. You know, this is our probably 3rd or 4th week of shooting. We've had practice rounds before, and before we even came out, a lot of safety stuff. It's all about safety, having fun, and then the fundamentals of everything.
Right.
And the idea of it was, to get going, was to introduce them to a new sport. Most of these kids out here that are shooting, they don't play sports at school. They don't do the baseball, the basketball, the football.
Right.
We do have a few, but this gives another outlet for kids that are not interested in that.
Yeah.
And so most of them, that we have are, and we have a good group, and hopefully with that they'll get interested enough where maybe they'll shoot for the club in leagues. We have leagues year round. Some of the parents have shown interest, in shooting, so hopefully to build the sport up.
Right.
When we do a squad, we should be able to run a squad of kids through in about 13 minutes. Okay, so they'll shoot 5 different positions. They'll shoot 5 rounds from each position for a total of 25. And actually, our kids are shooting way too fast. We have to slow them down a little bit so that they actually see the bird, follow the bird, pull the trigger. Bird comes out of the house at 42 miles an hour.
Right.
So you're going to see a blur before your eyes adjust to what you're really shooting at.
Right.
And they're getting it,
Yeah.
It's starting to come around. We are actually, all of our scores when we get going are put online, and we are paired up with other schools of about the same number.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we compete against other schools across the state.
Okay.
All right, and this year, everybody's invited to a state shoot in Cicero, New York. That'll be June the 9th.
Okay.
All right, so everybody's invited, so the kids can decide whether they want to go or not. Last year was the first year they did it. There was over 300 kids signed up in the league, and I think 270 of them went. And Cicero is where they have the American Trap Association fields, as well as Bridgeport, which is a private club.
Okay.
But in total, they have 24 houses, so that's where they hold the big shoots in the state.
Okay.
And they were taken back last year. they knew there was a couple hundred kids coming. What they didn't realize is there was a couple thousand parents and grandparents and everything going to be there.
Right.
So they were
The
saying,
interest.
"Whoa, this is
Yeah.
this is something else."
Yeah, definitely with the support.
Yeah.
That would have a
Yeah.
huge sense. Yeah.
And now, we were at a seminar about a month ago. Some guys flew in that are running the league and went over a lot of things, just for new clubs getting started, how to set your team up, how to run it, and they send us emails all the time, just updates of what you can do, to make the kids better.
Right.
We have had no pushback here. Just between here, Caledonia, Leroy, and Bergen,
Okay.
there's over 60 kids shooting just from those 3 school districts.
Right.
So it's growing.
Well, yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
good to see local competition in this area too.
Yeah, and they encourage the fact, like, if we want to do a practice night or something and one of the other teams come,
Right.
being that we're close by, we're like, Awaka's just down the road a couple miles, Bergen's maybe another 2 or 3 miles away, so
Yeah, it's
we
not
could get the kids together, and the coaches are talking about possibly doing something like that.
Right.
But I'm very excited about it. It took us about 8 months to get it approved. But like
Right.
I said, once it was approved, we've had no pushback. The kids are enjoying it. The parents seem to be excited about it. So
Good.
hopefully we can get some of them shooting in the leagues and, get them acclimated that way.
Yeah.
I just hope that with all this, and as fast as we're growing, that more schools will look into finding, a club that would help them get a team going. It's a very safe sport, and it just teaches something that they can use the rest of their life. I just hope we can do something in that direction.
Right.
Yeah.
So I started shooting about 2 years ago, and my dad got me into it. And so I started shooting late 2015,
Okay.
and I started shooting 5s and
As far as like season wise, I know with the cold. I mean, does the cold play any factor with wet shooting at all?
oh, absolutely.
Okay.
There's the birds are different.
Okay.
Some of them are harder to break, so it comes more pellets to break them.
Okay.
There's a mental factor. If you start getting cold and you're shaking and your hands get cold, they don't move as fast.
Right.
So, I mean, it's fun to do if, it's all about just going out and having fun, just shooting a gun. If you shoot a bad score, you just kind of got to shrug it off. Nothing you can do. So that day, if you shot bad, you got to shoot the gun. You had fun, so.
Right. As far as you've been doing this for a couple of years, have you got to meet different people, like traveling wise at all?
Oh yeah, there's a whole community of shooters.
Okay.
There's a lot of good guys in all the leagues.